On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day and a happy Easter to everybody. Got more Q posts that I want to share with you, and kind of wanted to do a quick intro into what it seems that they're trying to really help shape right now. I think some of us we're all in varying states of how awake we are. I will honestly say I think I kind of took my pill back in the probably early '90s. So it's been a little while that I've kind of been able to look at the world through different eyes. So a lot of us, as we come to this, it's a bit shocking. For some of us that have been here a while, it's hard not to see it, and we forget, and we don't understand why it's not more obvious to other people. But for some of us that haven't awoken yet, how do we kind of talk about these topics and sort of get you to start to understand where some of the problems exist? Now, one thing they do share, and there's a link, going to be links below for all this stuff. There's an amazing documentary that we will share towards the end of this that is one of the Q posts. This documentary is incredible. I actually watched it. It's a bit over an hour long. I watched the whole darn thing, and it really gets into a lot of the real key things that have been used against us and have been used to control us. And so many of us, we trust our media. Well, not us, but the unawakened, I guess, of us, don't trust them, or we do trust the media. We trust what Hollywood says. We see something that's displayed as fiction to be fiction. We don't ever question whether or not that's maybe real. There's a lot of things that come into play. There's this whole aspect of name calling, for example, where, the CIA invented it. It was in the documentary as well. But they called people conspiracy theorists. That was a very common thing back in the day. So from that standpoint, like there's always been these mechanisms to try to keep people from figuring out what's going on. And there's always been this desire to control the masses, to control the world, to be as rich as possible, to do all these crazy, weird, occult things, these dark things, these horrible things with children and people. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. But all of this stuff has been known for the higher echelon. All of this stuff was known. Epstein was friends with and had dirt on so many people. They get into how the Playboy Mansion came into play and how it worked into that whole scheme. We talk about how the media was only owned by 6 companies at one point, now 5. And then when you look at how many companies just even Disney owns, it's insane. When you look at the way things are set up, when you look at the way movies have been portrayed, and that was where this documentary come from, was a stunt guy that actually had insider knowledge, but never really thought it was happening until he decided to finally look into it and shares his whole journey. It's an amazing documentary, highly recommended. But we've got things like MK Ultra, which was programming they were doing. We've got all these assets that are out in the field right now that are already broken. They talk about some of these different ways that they break people psychologically. You get them young enough, and you create enough stress and duress in their lives, and it causes them to shift and break personalities, and they create additional personalities. That split personality concept. When people have these split personalities, they're not generally always aware of them, and when they revert into them or shift into them, oftentimes they don't realize that they've done it. They may lose consciousness of what's going on and may actually do actions as a programmed entity. These things have been demonstrated. They've been showed. There's movies that have been made about that. And again, they make everything out to be fictional. So when it's a fiction, you don't believe it. When it's a fiction, you're going to instantly look at it and go, yeah, this isn't real. But the problem is they're putting reality in our fiction, and we're not realizing that they're doing that. So that's one of the main things that a lot of us have to help others come to the terms with, maybe have to come to terms with ourselves, that we've been lied to pretty much our entire lives. That for me was probably the hardest part about waking up, was just realizing how I'd been lied to everywhere. And not knowingly, but definitely from a control standpoint. And then that's when I just started not trusting any sort of higher authority figures, right? And it created a whole slew of things that you eventually grow to. I still don't trust higher authority figures, but I understand why now, and it makes it much, much easier for me to navigate those waters. So these are things that we need to understand. Epstein dying, that's just another one. I mean, not to go on a side, but just so funny how everyone knew that was going to happen. Anybody that's paying any attention at all knew that Epstein was going to die. So why did it? I mean, he had dirt on everybody, so it's legitimately possible he did. Is it possible that they faked his death? Yeah, absolutely. and maybe they're going to bring him out someday. I mean, I don't know. I can believe either side of the story, but it's another one of those where it's like I would really, really love to know for sure. I don't know if there's been any photos of his actual corpse. There might have been. For some reason, I can see one flashing in my mind, but whatever the case is, like I said, I'm perfectly acceptable with the fact that they did off him because he knew so much on so many people. And ultimately, here's the thing, and this is what I've heard frequently stated, and I think this is true, and then we'll get right into the Q post. If every single politician that was dirty and corrupt and had dirt, and even had Epstein dirt, if every single one of them actually got in trouble, we would supposedly lose something like 80%, 70% of our actual Senate and House. Like, they would just immediately be removed. They'd end up in jail. So something has to happen where some people choose sides, choose allegiances, and are allowed to live another day, and others will be dealt with accordingly. So, okay, starting with post 3935. It's a powerful message from Ghana in West Africa. It's very, very cool. Check.
Hello. We are from West Africa, Ghana. This is the Great Awakening. The restoration of equal justice under the law will soon bring a new level of freedom and prosperity to the world. We trust the plan. Fellow patriots around the world, we are in this together. Where we go one,
we go all.
Where we go one,
we go all.
Where we go one,
we go all.
I gotta say, I absolutely love how that plays out. It does look very practiced and organized and orchestrated. This gentleman over here in the orange shirt, you can tell he's like reading along with her, but it's super cool. That's just another great example. So we've got a bunch of these types of posts. I'll just kind of bounce into a few of them and check it out. A lot of people from all over the place.
I'm from Germany, and where we go one, we go all.
He's got that great smoker's voice, though, so you gotta love it, right, Germany? You gotta dig it. This is super cool. Check this out. This is super cool.
There it is, get up there. Guys, this is in my hometown. A big Q on a billboard! Yeah!
Strong America. Gotta love it.
Awesome.
Super cool.
There it is, get up there. Guys, this...
There we go. I don't want to do that. Got another gentleman here for us.
I'm from the UK. Where we go one, we go all.
That's fantastic. Gotta love that. Thank you, Britain, or UK, for joining us on that. Got some more great pictures. Los Angeles, California. Yoo-hoo! Where we go one, we go all. You gotta love how this is uniting humanity, how this is bringing everyone together. I think it's just fantastic how this is all playing out. And another Q post here. This is, I believe they're from Canada, Montreal. So thank you so much from our Quebecois, I think, maybe, or Montreal, whichever. Here we got another one. Great kid here.
This is about our future. Where we go one, we go all.
Very dramatic, right? Like, I mean, you can see him winning Academy Awards down the future. But you got to love it. Trump 2020. And there's someone else with some Q stickers all over. I mean, again, the Q movement's happening. This one actually reminds me of, I was out in Vegas working with a buddy of mine. We were working on a project together. Went to some location, I think to pick up his daughter. One of the guys in his car, there to pick up his kid, had one of the Q bumper stickers on it. And he got out of his car and I said, "Hey, I like your bumper sticker there." And he goes, "No way, no one's ever noticed that." And I said, "Where we go one, we go all." And he put up his fist and did a little fist bump in the air. So it was pretty cool. Dude, there's people all over. It's fantastic how it's playing it out.
We stand united here in Indiana. Where we go one, we go all.
That's right. Where we go one, we go all. Now, Praying Medic, this guy's awesome. I've been following him for a long time, and just a good soul, good-hearted soul, and he's got a really great message for us.
This is Praying Medic from Phoenix, Arizona. You are not alone. We are in this together. The entire world is watching, and the entire world is here. Where we go one, we go all.
Thank you, Praying Medic. That's a beautiful message as always. Got another lovely lady here. Mikasi to you.
From Miami, Florida. Where we go one, we go all.
Go Miami. I love it. Good stuff. And we've got some more great workers here on JT's post. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you. Hoorah. Gotta love that. And here's another lovely lady. I believe she's from Australia, mate. G'day.
Australia here. Where we go one, we go all.
Cheers, mate. Love it. absolutely. And I love my Aussie friends. I got a good friend of mine named Anyas. Do some spiritual stuff with her. Super cool. Love the Aussies. Great people. Let's check out this guy here. Here's the last one, I believe, Waldo X. Kind of a weird version of a video on this, but whatever. It's kind of got to open it up.
From Denver, Colorado, where we go one, we go all.
Is it just me or does he
From
look
Denver,
like
Colorado,
Ace Ventura
where we go.
in that one video, right, where he's, bouncing around and he's driving down a smooth street, but he's acting like he's off-road? I swear to God, this guy looks like he's fallen off the face of the earth. Not sure what's going on. Pretty crazy. All right, so we had a really cool little drop here. I think this was the one. We get up to the top. Yeah, well, first off, post 3950. These were, by the way, all the small posts down here I already did. But 3950, The Great Awakening, bigger than anyone can possibly imagine. God bless each and every one of you. Again, folks, we're all in differing stages of the awakening process. The people in the masses are starting to awaken. Wherever you're at in this spectrum, try to help the people below you as much as you can, and try to see if you can find maybe a couple that understand this stuff a little better than you. And as you start to do that, as you start to come to terms with that, you will realize that everything is kind of heading in the direction. We're all awakening. We're all doing it at our own pace and our own speed. And finally, 3951. This is that YouTube link. This is an amazing video. I'm not going to play it. It's over an hour long. But it's fascinating. It's way, way worth it. If you want to understand any of this programming, the way that the CIA has been involved in all this, I mean, there's all sorts of whistleblowers that are brought into this particular video. The news media lady that was breaking open a lot of these different stories. There is so much to this. If anyone is trying to awaken or is slightly open to the idea of being awakened, this video is probably one that you're going to enjoy. And it was very well produced. It's professionally done. Excellent. But on top of that, best documentary of the year, absolutely agree with that. We've got F brackets in bold, black sites are being closed, MK active. So what I read from this is foreign sites are being closed. They're targeting those. That's awesome. That's great. I think everybody's been seeing that coming. But what the tie-in here with the MK active, that's what some are speculating is why this shut down and why it was so important for us to be able to open up or get people out of the streets. Basically, this COVID virus, the way we've shut down society, a lot of people suspect the main reason we were doing that is because we were trying to keep these MK active assets from being able to do damage to anybody out there. And I think that's been one of the key things that we've been trying to stop is by keeping people off the streets, by keeping mass groupings from happening. These assets, these MK Ultra assets, these programmed people that are still out there and active are unable to go and create mass carnage. They can't do the things that they want to do. They can't have the events that they want and need that are meant to kind of take away the attention to what's happening to them. So class 1 through 99 future, again, that's popping up. I think it was in a lower post too down here, right? I swear I've seen that somewhere else or just read it and I'm still down in here maybe. Anywho, it was out there. We'll figure it out. We'll get it all looked into. You go down the rabbit hole in this Q research sometimes, like this one here. You start going down rabbit holes and you end up in all sorts of crazy places. So sometimes, finding the information's a little tricky. Getting better at it as we go. But I definitely want to get this information out there, let people know what's going on, and give you this great video too to check out. Hopefully, you guys enjoy. Again, we're on the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. Please click the bell notification icon. All that great stuff. If you want to donate to me, there's a PayPal link below. Anybody that is willing to help with this process is always appreciated. I love you guys. I'm out here for you. I'm hoping to make a difference just like you guys. Let's see if we can unite. Where we go one, we go all. Dan RadioStyle.